The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
What will the New York Jets do with the number 2 pick in the draft? New intel from draft guru Todd McShay gives us another clue. We'll talk about that and much more with Jets reporter Nick Faria in his weekly spot on the program. It is the Jake Asman Show. Less than a week till draft night, baby. Let's hit it and get it started. Wish you could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday, and thanks so much for being with us. We are presented by PrizePicks. We are 15 subscribers away from 45,000. So if you know someone out there who's a Jet fan, tell them to subscribe to this channel. We're going to have live coverage all next week during the draft, reacting to the draft. I'll be in Pittsburgh for the draft, so I can't wait to get to Pittsburgh. Have our first ever on-site draft party. Big things are coming for the New York Jets and for the Asmaniac community. If you still want to join us at the draft party, it's free to attend. Just RSVP so I can put you in our raffle we're going to do for all the Jet fans in attendance who RSVP'd in advance. With that, let's say hello right now to our good friend. He covers the Jets for JetsXFactor.com. It's our friend Nick Faria who joins us in his weekly spot. Nick, appreciate you hopping on. Let's go, man. Less than a week till this draft finally.
It's a fantastic time of the year, lots to talk about, and of course for the Jets, we're still determining which of these 2 pass rushers this team's going to actually draft. Nothing better.
Yep, can't wait, and obviously we'll get a much better idea next week. I do want to start with some non-number 2 pick news, though, just because I believe the Jets are heavily involved in the wide receiver market, and today was a significant day for maybe the best receiver, depending on who you talk to, in the draft class. Earlier today, Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver from Arizona State, participated in a workout for NFL teams. He was not healthy enough to participate at the scouting combine in Indianapolis. He was not healthy enough to participate at the Arizona State Pro Day, but he held a workout earlier. Here are some of the takeaways from it, courtesy of NFL Draft Scout. That's Matt Miller. Teams were comfortable with his injury history. This is what he heard. And the conversation apparently starts at pick number 5, which is interesting because that's where the Giants are. And Matt Miller believes there's no way that Jordan Tyson will be there past the 16th pick, which is notable because the New York Jets, of course, are sitting there at number 16. According to Matt Miller, Jordan Tyson, he ran around 20 to 25 routes, and he had just 1 drop on a dig route. 20 NFL teams had representatives at the workout for the likely top 16 pick. What do you make of all this on Jordan Tyson?
Yeah, it kind of follows what we've seen the last few years and over the last few decades when it comes to players who have a long injury history in college, have those kind of red flags. Teams are going to go through their process. They're going to talk to their medical team. They're going to try and determine if some of these injuries, some of these past injuries are concerning moving forward. And then they still have to make a decision. They have to break down, is it worth it to be able to draft this player? And for Jordan Tyson, the skill set is obviously there. He's a big receiver, plenty of speed, good catch radius, and he's someone that can go up and catch a football against some of these top cornerbacks in the National Football League. For a team like the Jets, it's a perfect fit. They need a true X receiver. They want to be able to move Garrett Wilson around, both in the slot and outside. If you have a true solid X receiver, that allows you to do everything you want with your top pass catcher. So this makes perfect sense. The fact that Jordan Tyson can go from 5 to 16 does not surprise me at all. If someone wants him and someone is really in love with him, even with all the injury history, they're going to have to move up to get him. I'm thinking, of course, of the New York Jets. I'm thinking, of course, of other teams that may want a receiver. You look at the Baltimore Ravens, and I continuously circle the Washington Commanders as a team that potentially would want to trade out. They only have about 5-6 picks in the draft. They're a team that needs draft capital. They're one of the oldest rosters in football. So if you're a team like the Jets and you really like what you saw from Jordan Tyson today, even more than maybe what you saw from Carnell Tate at his pro day and in the combine, then you need to go up and get this player, because there's a clear difference. There's a clear drop between the top 3 receivers of Mekhi Lemon, Tyson, and Tate, and that second tier of receivers with Omar Cooper, Denzel Boston, and a collection of others.
Here's the question I have for you. Do you like Tyson better than Tate, or Tate better than Tyson?
I like Tate a little bit better. I think health certainly plays a factor. I also think he was just more consistently dominant throughout his college career. And again, you look at Ohio State, they have a very rich history of receivers. Garrett Wilson, of course, being one of the most successful in terms of production. So if I were the Jets right now and I'm looking to trade up and I'm trading up for a wide receiver, I want to get Tate. Not even that, but it also would carry a little bit of favor with Garrett Wilson. He was the guy that GW wanted. So being able to say, hey, we're pairing you with a college brethren. We're going to put you together in the same offense, and we're going to allow you to work. But that does not mean that I'm saying if the Jets were to trade up for Tyson over Tate, that it's a bad move. You need to get a receiver. They desperately need offensive firepower. And either one of these players, including Mekhi Lemon, I think would be an absolute win for the franchise.
I don't think I would trade up for Jordan Tyson because of the injury concerns. I have come around on being willing to take him at 16 because the talent is probably too good to pass up.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I saw a clip today that was so outrageous about another guy that should have been a New York Jet, and that's Jackson Smith-Njigba, who dealt with hamstring injuries when he was in college at the Ohio State. So in this clip I saw, the Seahawks equipment manager was being interviewed on a radio show on the flagship station for the Seahawks out in Seattle. And Jackson Smith-Njigba in college used to wear size 12 cleats, and because of that, he dealt with hamstring issues. When Seattle drafted him, they used a foot scanning device, realized that he's actually a size 10. He made the cleat adjustment, and all of a sudden he's been healthy as a pro. So maybe Jordan Tyson just needs to remeasure his foot, and then he'll magically be healthy if the Jets draft him. But like, how does Jackson Smith-Njigba not know his foot size? Isn't that crazy that story came out today?
Blows my mind. I'm not really sure why how that situation even comes up. But I will say, there's a very long history of players with injury concerns that have gone on to have great careers. One, of course, is Frank Gore. Tears both ACLs twice in a matter of back-to-back years. He comes out, has an unbelievable career. What is he now? The 3rd all-time leading rusher. He's going to go in the Hall of Fame. You get these moments on draft day and through the draft process where people are concerned about certain things, and it just turns out that it's not really the case. It's not really the problem anymore. It's always about fit. The Seattle Seahawks were a great fit for JSN. And clearly, they have made out like bandits since that draft pick. They've won a Super Bowl. He's won an Offensive Player of the Year. He's one of the best receivers in football. So if you're the Jets and you are a team in need of a receiver, you are trying to compare someone like Tyson with an injury history to other players who have dealt with injury concerns throughout college but are hoping to have quality NFL careers. It certainly happened. I'm a firm believer that Tyson's going to have an excellent career himself because he has all the tools to be great. And that's all you can ask for if you're taking a receiver within the top 15.
I just read this and I'm just like, how did he not know what his foot size was? And I laugh when I see how Seattle got him down to a size 10 using foot scanning. You want to see what foot scanning is, Nick? There's your foot scanner.
Well, listen, I will say the technology now is pretty incredible. I went to go get new shoes last year, and they had me go on this machine that literally it's not even this particular metal machine. It's a scanner that measures the ball of your feet and how you walk and how your stride is, and matching that to what kind of shoe model you want to have. So technology is a beautiful thing because now it's allowed JSN to become one of the best receivers in football.
Just unbelievable. Comments, questions, super chats. They will cut the line. Asmaniac Madness coming up in just a little while. Our final Sweet 16 matchup before the Asmaniac Madness bracket will officially be down to just 8 Asmaniacs remaining. The Elite 8 will start tomorrow, doing a Saturday show at 11 a.m. We got the Buffalo Jet fan coming on as a guest, and that will feature Kyle Clifton and Chef Kevin in that Elite 8 matchup. But today on the show, we're going to be voting between Purple Belt Mike and Paganardi. That's Party with Paganardi, the 3-seed PBM against P and A. 3 versus 7. Voting will open for that in just a little bit. Nick, I want to play you something that Todd McShay said on Adam Shine's radio show yesterday. I will play that, but first I want to tell everyone Football Friday giveaway is epic today. End of this show. Bill Parcells signed Jets helmet. Hall of Famer Bill Parcells signed Jets helmet up for grabs at the end of the show. Weekly raffles tomorrow, so this is your last chance to enter for the Parcells helmet and the following 3 prizes tomorrow. Revis signed football, Garrett Wilson signed helmet, and a Wayne Corbett signed football. Shout out to Cole Forbin in the Asmaniac raffle for 5.
No, thank you.
Jets. Let's go.
Yeah, you love it, Nick. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much, Cole. Jetstream 1989 in the raffle for 5. Let's go. Hit it, Gorman.
No, thank you.
Jets. Let's go.
You love it.
Why?
And then one more. Shout out to Ozzy. He is in the raffle for 1. Thank you, Ozzy.
Yeah.
All right, now let's hear from Todd McShay. Again, this is courtesy of Time to Shine, or Shine on Sports, I think is the actual name. Adam's been doing his radio show on Mad Dog Radio forever. Here is Todd McShay, of course, formerly of ESPN, now doing all the draft content for The Ringer, talking about the Jets and what he's hearing with that number 2 pick.
And you've got like bird in hand, right? We know that David Bailey's the best pass rusher. His production score, his like what he's put on tape, we know he can get home. And my goodness, do we need it? What team doesn't need one of those, right? Then you got this like cyborg, this like half human, half machine, and Arvell Reese, who's a 1-year starter, great off the ball linebacker, great flashes as a pass rusher, but he's not developed yet. And yeah, we're looking ahead to 2027. We got 3 first-round picks next year. We got 9 picks this year. We got 4 in the first 2 rounds. We're rebuilding this thing from scratch. Do we need him to be a superstar this year? No, but we need him to be next year. But maybe Bailey's just more proven. My information is there's a heavy lean towards David Bailey, but that the final decision hasn't been made. And I know this talking to multiple teams around the league. Your GM and your defensive coordinator, in this case, it's Aaron Glenn, the head coach, better be in lockstep with the plan if you're drafting Arvell Reese. Because if it's not the right plan, then you've got a really good, like a really, really good off-the-ball linebacker, but one that isn't great in coverage, you know? And so is it worth that number 2 overall pick or anywhere in the top 5? So that's kind of the discussion going on with the Jets. But if I had to put my own money on it right now, it would be heavily on David Bailey.
What do you make of that, Nick? If Todd McShay's throwing around some coin, and I'm sure Bill Simmons on The Ringer pays him handsomely, he's saying he'd put it on David Bailey. Are you buying that?
I unfortunately am not. Everything that I've heard, everything that I have seen, it just seems like one giant smokescreen to me. And it's been that way since David Bailey, the popularity behind Bailey at pick 2 really started. And this is something that the Jets have done now for the back-to-back drafts. In 2024, everyone thought that Brock Bowers was going to be the pick at 10. As long as he fell to the Jets, he was going to be their guy. Except Olu Fashanu was always their guy, and he fell to them, and they're very happy about that. Then you fast forward to 2025, and everyone was saying, oh, it's Tyler Warren. They really like Tyler Warren. It's all about Tyler Warren, man. They're going to get a tight end. And then they ended up choosing Armand Membu, and he was always really the pick. I just see so many similarities this year to those past few years of just, hey, we may go this way, but actually we're going to do what most people expect us to do, and that's the best non-quarterback in this draft class with Arvell Reese. You know, and he kind of also says it. Todd McShay also says it. Do you want the proven pass rusher or the cyborg? Quite frankly, this belief that the Jets need to make the safe pick to save Aaron Glenn's job, I think is one of the biggest farces this draft cycle. Because the only way Aaron Glenn's job gets saved is if they win right away. And David Bailey, much like every prospect in the National Football League, is going to need a ramp-up period. He's going to need some time in order to develop. These players are not like Lawrence Taylor coming in where they're automatically getting 3-4 sacks a game and they're just the most dominant defensive player of the era. That doesn't happen really anymore. And this is certainly not the draft class for it. So if you're the Jets, and again, I've said this, I have a mock draft out, and it's really the only mock draft I do for the Jets every year. I do one. I think they're going to take Arvell Reese. The decision has not been made yet. They are not completely sold on where they're going to go at this point. They're still debating between the top two guys. But if they take David Bailey, it's not the end of the world. I think it's a good pick because of his pass rushing prowess. If they spurn him and take Arvell Reese, then they have the best non-quarterback in this draft class. That is the kind of weapon that Aaron Glenn has talked about all off season. He wants to run a multiple defense. He wants to be able to confuse the opposition, have linebackers rush the passer from everywhere on the field. Arvell Reese allows you to do that. I don't know if David Bailey can do that. David Bailey is someone who I think is a better fit for the wide 9 scheme. He's not a better fit for a defense that wants to move their best pass rusher inside, outside, in scheme, in all these different ways that's going to confuse offenses. So right now, long story short, I still think it's going to be Reese. They're not wrong for considering Bailey. They're going to come away with a great pass rusher regardless. It's just a matter of if Aaron Glenn truly believes in his multiple style of defense, then Reese is going to be the pick.
The thing I keep coming back to is when the head coach is on the record saying this.
Play call is my superpower, really.
Then why wouldn't you want the guy with the biggest upside that you could use in so many different ways and different machinations of your defense?
But I will also say this. If you ask most Jet reporters, they're saying things that are different from the national side. The national side, and I think a lot of people are talking about what other organizations think the Jets will do. It's not about what the Jets will actually do. I think it was Rosenblatt, Hughes, Samini, obviously myself. We've all had David Bailey not be the pick. It's always Arvell Reese at this point. So again, they can't go wrong here. You're getting a really good player. But if you want to run the style of defense that Aaron Glenn wants to run, then a wide 9 edge rusher is not really the best fit. You need someone that can stop the run, which they were abhorrent at last season, and they have been for the last few years.
Comments, questions, super chat, cut the line. What do you make of Todd McShay saying he'd bet heavy on the Jets drafting David Bailey at number 2? Like the video. If you're just joining us, Nick Faria is our guest. We're going to get to some of your calls a bit later on in the show. We have Asmaniac Madness still to come as well. Rich Samini said on the Jets Collective, Nick, that Denzel Boston could be in play at 16 for the Jets. He's heard the Jets really like him. Your thoughts on Boston as a prospect?
Yeah, he's not the Jets are not the only team. There are a couple in the 20s that are highly interested. And obviously the wild card in any draft is Philadelphia because what's going to happen with A.J. Brown? If they draft a receiver in the first round, it's pretty much a goner that
call Diana Rossini. You'll get an answer.
I'm not going to go that way. I want to be able to have a successful career, but I will say
I'm serious. You can get an answer.
Look, Philadelphia, I think, is going to trade A.J. Brown. At this point, it seems inevitable. So it makes sense for them to draft a receiver. And I've heard they like Boston a lot. I've also heard they'd be willing to trade up at a certain point for Jordan Tyson if he were to fall. So they remain an absolute wild card in this. There are going to be other teams in the 20s that are going to need receiver help. That certainly could fit that mold. You look at Tampa Bay, but I believe Tampa Bay is drafting earlier than 20, so they'll be able to do whatever they want in terms of there. So it all depends on the teams. It all depends on the needs, but it also depends on the asking price for some of these teams. If the Jets go out and say, listen, we really like David Boston, we're going to dangle this pick at Philadelphia saying, hey, we're going to take him if you don't give us X amount of picks, then maybe that comes away with a deal. Maybe Philadelphia trades up and the Jets recuperate more draft picks. There's a lot that can happen in the next week that sort of facilitates a lot of trades. I know there are some GMs that think we're going to see a lot of trades in a non-quarterback draft class. I find that hard to believe, but a lot of things can happen. And certainly we're in for a very interesting draft night.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. This one is from the big fella. He says, Jordan Tyson with the MetLife turf, awful combination. It concerns me, man. Again, at 16, no problem, but I'm not trading up for him.
Well, yeah, but again, it also depends on where. If you're trading into the top 10, maybe that's too rich for you. But if they move up to 11, 12, is that something that you'd be interested? I think that's far more palatable for fans if they're giving up, a first and a third, as opposed to a first and a second. So it all depends on where exactly Tyson ends up. And I know the Giants need receiver help. I know Connor Hughes kind of teased the idea of the Giants potentially drafting a wideout. I still think they're going defense. I think they have way too many holes on that side of the ball. And John Harbaugh needs to be able to stabilize the unit going into this season. So a lot of different places Tyson can go. But I do think if you're the Jets, if you really like a guy and you believe and you feel like he's passed all the medicals, then you have to take him, regardless of how fearful you are of your own turf. You got to make the move because he is someone that can change life for your offense.
Nick Faria is our guest. Big shout out to Michael Palermo, or to definitely botch that name, Michael Palermo, who is in the Asmaniac Raffle for one by gifting a channel membership. Appreciate you, Michael. Asmaniac Madness is coming up. Let's talk about just staying put at 16. Based on what you know and just how the board could play out, if the Jets decide we have too many needs, we're not trading a future second to move up and do that deal that we've speculated on with the Washington Commies going up from 16 to 7. Let's say the Jets are going to stay at 2. They can't find a trade partner. They'll take Reese or Bailey, and then they're there at 16. Realistically, give us the best case scenario and the worst case scenario of the pool of players you expect to be there.
Yeah, let's be frank. The best case scenario is one of the 3 receivers, Lemon, Tyson, and Tate, are there for the team at 16. Now, I know some people aren't as high on Mekhi Lemon as others are, but the talent is there on tape. And quite frankly, I think you put him in a good offensive scheme. You put him with a quality receiver like Garrett Wilson, I think he can be really, really good at the NFL level. So that's the best case scenario. You come away with the best non-quarterback of the draft class, the best edge rusher of the draft class, and then you come away with a top receiver. That's absolutely the win. But I will say probably the worst case scenario in this case, and again, it's not really a terrible situation because it is a position they're going to have to address. But I think taking a corner at 16 is a mistake. And I just, I wrote an article about this. It's going to be published on X later today. But if you are a team that traded away a 2-time All-Pro, whatever you feel about Sauce Gardner, whatever detractors Sauce Gardner has, it was a 2-time All-Pro, an excellent cover corner. If you are going to trade him for multiple draft picks, only to draft a corner the very first draft after, it leads me to believe that, okay, listen, we know we need a cornerback, but we didn't want him, and there's so many other different factors that come away with it. I think a cornerback with that pick would be a mistake. Now, I understand maybe they push that to the second round. Maybe they go 4th round. There still needs to be an address of that position because Brandon Stevens' contract's coming up. Nashawn Wright's only signed for a 1-year deal. There's reasons why the team may want to address the cornerback position. But this team is desperate to put up points offensively. And I have seen the New York Jets now consistently over the last 15 years preach defense as the main focus when everyone else on the planet is saying you need to put up points offensively. The Jets have been the one team that doesn't do it, and lo and behold, they've been one of the worst offenses in the NFL. They need to address the receiver position. If that means trading down and picking up Omar Cooper or picking up Denzel Boston, then I'm all for it. If you're not comfortable taking them at 16, then trade down. But taking a corner to me would be a massive mistake because it essentially says, listen, we know we need to put up points, but by golly, we're going to focus on our defense more than anything else.
Where does Ty Simpson go?
I think he's a first-round pick. I still do. I mean, there's a couple different avenues that you could see. I still look at the Rams as probably the one little, dangling tease there, because they already were kind of thinking about moving on from Matthew Stafford. So Sean McVay has in the back of his head, I need to have a succession plan ready at the quarterback position. And I do think that Ty Simpson fits that mold. So I think the Rams are probably the best fit for him, obviously. But also I think the team is going to be pretty interested, whether it's with their second first round pick, whether it's with trading up into the first round, or moving beyond just the top 15 pick they have. I still think it's going to be the Rams.
Comments, questions, your super chats cut the line. Nick Faria with us here in his weekly spot talking all things New York Jets. If Ty is there at 33, are the Jets taking him? Are they trading out of 33? What happens if he makes it to the first pick of the second round?
I think they still just go best player available. And if that happens to be Ty, which I don't think it will, I think he will be gone before then.
But that's faulty logic, because best player, a quarterback is a different conversation. You know what I mean? Best player, you got to love a quarterback if you're going to take him.
Sure.
High. It's still a pretty high pick.
But from everything that we have heard, he's done a very good job of marketing himself. He's done a good job in the film room. He's done a good job in meetings. So if they feel like he's a guy that they want to be able to see if they have a franchise quarterback in, there's nothing wrong with it. And if they feel they can get him at 33, tip of the cap. But the way that I see it, even if Ty Simpson's available at 33, I would go, interior defensive lineman, defensive tackle. I would not oppose to an offensive lineman either, because you need that depth. Parm and Myers are going to be free agents. You could address the safety position. This is a very deep safety class, and Minkah Fitzpatrick's getting older. Dane Belton's on a one-year deal. So there's a number of different ways they can go. And do not be surprised if they focus on linebacker as well. Rodriguez is someone that's been tied to the team. In my mock, I have them trading out of the second round, trading back in the second round to recuperate a third, and I take that, and I have them taking Hill from Texas. This is a quality linebacker class as well. There's a lot of different ways the Jets can go, and it's a testament to them because they have been able to use the offseason to address a lot of needs. Now, it's not really, oh my God, they need an offensive lineman, or oh my God, they need a safety. Now it's about finding the right fit for your team that's a top prospect going into the second and third round. We know they need a receiver. We know they need an edge rusher, and they are in position to get both spots early on in the first round of the draft.
Speaking of being in position, we are in position to get the final Sweet 16 showdown of Asmaniac Madness underway. Who's going to take on Charles Gorman in the Elite Eight of the grown-ass man region? We're going to find out this afternoon, folks. It's either the 3-seed Purple Belt Mike or the number 7 seed Party with Peg and Artie. Before poll voting opens, we have 2 messages from each Asmaniac competing. First, a message from the PBM campaign.
Vote for PBM. He's a great person, great husband, and most importantly, a great dog dad.
Yeah. PBM in the building. Let's go. Purple Bell Mike, yeah, stepping on the mat, locked in, dialed up. You ain't ready for that. Grip tight, game right, pressure never break. When it's time to vote, there's only one to take. PBM. Say the name loud, rolling through the bracket, got the whole crowd proud. Party with Pig, Artie in the way, but Mike's bringing heat. This is his day, from the guard to the mount. Yeah, the finish is clean. Asmaniac Madness, he the champ on the scene. Vote PBM, listen to me as I sing. Purple Belt Mike, put the crown on the king. PBM.
And now a message from Peg and Artie.
Hey, Peg, what are you doing? Oh, no.
What's this crap? This ain't my gabagool. Where? I told you to get gabagool.
Peace, Peg. That's the red Cocos that Gary recommended, the one that has no nitrates on it. Read the box. Read the ingredients.
Read the ingredients on my ass. What are you bothering me for, numbnuts? I'm giving him his massage.
That's our dog Gizmo. That's not Joey the guinea pig. I hope you know that.
No, isn't this Joey?
Let me go check, see if Peg's making dinner. I don't even know anymore. Peg, what the heck are you doing with my Ed Kranepool bat?
I'm a pimp, and a pimp tells his hose to keep it rolling.
Hey guys, I obviously got my hands full here. I don't know what happens when she puts that damn skull cap on.
On to the next caller.
I mean, I don't even know what to do anymore.
Go hump a tree or something.
And we just hope we get your votes. We love all you
I gotta go to the suburbs.
And, we're doing the best we can. So vote for Peg and Artie, and we love you all.
Help me up. Time for a Renzo.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's
it is
incredible.
time to
Well done. Well done.
Poll voting for this afternoon's Asmaniac Madness matchup is officially open.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? Asmaniac Madness. You get to pick the ones that make the show
Vote, vote, vote. Your vote determines who advances to the Elite Eight in the battle between PBM and Peg and Artie. TH3 Entertainment in the Asmaniac Raffle for one. Let's go. Open phone lines for anyone who wants in. Please call in right now if you're going to get on the show, because we need as many of you to be a part of this thing as possible. And the more of you on the line early, the more we could take throughout the course of our show. Ron writes in that Faria has become an NFL word salad. Would you like to respond to Ron's criticism?
Don't know what that means. It's okay. I appreciate it.
Do you like salads in general?
Not really, but I'll have one with steak.
You know what? I have been a witness to such a thing. There's no doubt about that. Which player, if they're there at 33, would you say, I don't care what the offer is, within reason, I'm just going to stick and pick and not move down? Do you have one?
Yeah, I would say probably the kid from Oregon. If Thieneman drops to 33, which is not a guarantee, but if he gets to 33, I'm taking him regardless. I think he's an absolute stud and someone where, listen, I think the Jets are going to be able to balance this thing out where they don't have to go all offense or all defense. They can kind of split it right down the middle. 2 offensive players if they stay with their 4 picks, and then 2 defensive players. So I think Thieneman's probably the guy where if he's available at 33, I'm running up the table to put the card in.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line like this one here that we just received from Doc Jetfan, who's in our raffle for the Parcells helmet at the end of our stream today for 2. He says, spot on, Nick. 1996 defense travels and wins championships. 2026, based on today's rules, smart OCs can create mismatches that are unstoppable. Dear Jets, please join the 21st century in roster building. Spot on to you, Doc. And we've talked about this with Robbie Sabo on the show at length. The Jets are behind the times with how they've operated. That's how you are a franchise that is bottom 10 in offense 10 straight years. No team since the merger of 1970 has ever had 10 straight seasons where you ranked in the bottom 10 in scoring and offensive yards. They've done that for 10 consecutive years. They've been a bottom 10 offense in the 2 most important offensive categories, yards and points.
It's really unfortunate because they have the talent on this roster. And this is why I said that I think there was some confusion in the chat because I said, they should go defensive player at 33. It's not what I said. I said they should go best player available. If it is a defensive player, then so be it. But quite frankly, that is why at 16 it needs to be a receiver or a plan for a receiver. Whether you're trading up or trading back for one, it has to be a pass catcher because it is the one thing on offense that they desperately, desperately need. They need someone to be able to complement Garrett Wilson out wide at the X spot and allow Garrett Wilson to work where he works best. This is a no-brainer to me. The fact that the Jets have not been to the playoffs 15 years, there's one common denominator, and it's the coaches that they hire. It is the style that they lead with, and it's the fact that they are more focused on a rebuilding culture than actually winning games. Winning builds culture. I have said it repeatedly now for the last few years. If you want a culture changer, then you get someone who can actually win, and you want someone who can win that usually stems from an offensive-minded individual.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mickey Rosa in the Asmaniac Raffle for 1. Let's go, Mickey. Thank you very much. hit the join button if you want in on the Asmaniac raffle, or you can just gift your fellow Asmaniac a channel membership. For every membership you gift, that's how many raffle tickets that you earn. Let's get to your calls right now. First up today appears to be a superhero-like figure. Folks, I don't know what's happening.
Purple belt Mike, he loves the dark knight. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple belt Mike. Purple belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Oh, fuck. Just came back from whooping Superman's ass. I want you to do one thing, everybody in New York, across Tasmania. Vote for PBM. PBM trained me in the great martial art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I couldn't choke out the Joker. I couldn't take out the Diddler. I couldn't take out all these guys if it wasn't for PBM. So vote for PBM, and you respect America.
Ladies and gentlemen, Batman.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Did Batman get you to want to vote for PBM there, Nick?
I got to tip the cap. He's doing more than he needs to in this case. So certainly I think the voters will reflect that.
All right, I have something that I specifically waited to play just to get your reaction. All right?
I'm kind of terrified.
No. Look, I am going to warn the audience, though. If there are small children lying around,
oh no,
cover their eyes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to specifically play this next clip, but I'm going to play it with the idea that you actually could see Nick Faria in real time watching it. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and enjoy.
You guys laugh. It's not funny.
This is regurgitating.
Those are two fairly young men.
You want to see what a real man looks like?
They don't care. They think it's funny that they're sickly and ill.
This ain't no bullshit.
Beast and Gorman look great.
Yeah, they're both physical specimens.
Destructive but constructive.
That's extraordinary, yeah.
272 pounds, muscle and might.
I'm all thrown off here. I'm all flustered here. Can I get to my jet point?
Yeah, you could try.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't fuck off, I don't know what else will. Have a good day.
No, thank you.
Jets. Let's go.
Nick, your thoughts?
Why? What did I do to deserve this?
Ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw on your screen there is what I call greatness personified. On that note, open phone lines for those of you who want in on the conversation. We'll do some calls with Nick before we say goodbye. C is first up today. Hello, C.
How you doing, Jake?
Oh, Carl, where have you been, man? You no-showed Asmaniac Madness. We haven't heard from you in months. Well, where have you been? I'm glad you're alive.
Yeah, I'm alive, Jake. I've been having some problems.
Well, I hope everything's okay.
It is. It'll be okay. But anyway, let me talk to Nick for a second. Hey, Nick, this morning I went to bat for you. I defended you. You were disparaged on the Boy Green show. You were taken apart by one of the callers.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember the guy Bradshaw.
Yeah, what is it? Is his name Badshaw or whatever it is?
Something like that. But I
think he was on the show. What was it? Yesterday.
I listened to it and I just couldn't hold myself anymore. I couldn't hold my tongue. I had to get on and defend you.
I appreciate
it. And
not necessarily.
I think they're going to be coming after me. I know that. The next time I call in, they're going to be coming after me with guns blazing.
What was the issue with Badshaw? What was wrong with? What did he criticize Nick Faria for?
Oh my God. All everything, all of his takes, how he talks to people and he talks down to people, and
Nick does not talk down to people.
No, look,
does he have crazy takes sometimes? Sure, but we all do, and he gives opinions. Look, that's the point of this.
Nick, I said that I thought you were one of the best content guys that get on the air because. You're very you're very easy to listen to, and you don't disparage or insult anybody or because of their views. And
well, hold on a second, Carl. We have to talk here.
That?
Is this true? Yo Hum said on the Boy Green show, you openly talked crap about my show and said you don't want to be an Asmaniac. Is this true, Carl?
Whoa. That's wait a minute. That's not true. What I said was that, Jake, I'm not up to like the whole Asmaniac contest thing and everything like that. I'm just the guy that likes to listen to your show. You know what I mean?
Wait a second. You call into the show. The committee was nice enough to put you in the tournament. That's it. You know, just an acknowledgement. We were acknowledging you as a good caller. That's it.
I didn't know I was in the show.
What do you mean?
I didn't know. I didn't know I was in the contest.
How did you not?
I had no idea. Well, look, I've been listening to your show in the background a lot. I always listen to you. And I enjoy your show. I'm just not out there, you know.
But how did you know you were in it if you listen to the show regularly?
How did I know I was in it?
How did you know you weren't in it?
I never. Well, when I listened, I never heard that I was in it.
You were in the
I heard
bracket.
it. I heard it from Bob Lederer.
You heard it from Bob Lederer that you were in
that I was
Madness?
in. Yes, I did. He told me when on the Boy Green show. So I said, "My God!"
You've been listening to my show, Carl. Your story's not matching up here.
I listen to your show, Jake. I
don't think you do. You would have known.
Hey, Jake, how many hours of this stuff can I listen to a day?
Gator writes in, for the record, I voted against Carl being in the tournament. He has a Jake Klein sense of humor. Yeah, and look, I thought Carl deserved to be in. He had some great moments with Beast during the year, some good jet takes. The committee, unfortunately, we got this one wrong, I think.
Well, I'll try to do better next time. How's that?
No, I think I think that's it, Carl. I think it's over.
Okay, well,
I don't think we can come back from this.
Okay, well, I'll try. Okay, but I did want to say to Nick that I jumped in there.
Yes. Let's go.
Hola, ¿cómo está, amigo? How you doing?
Hola, Beast.
So you haven't been around for a while. What happened? You've been having a lot of problems?
A little bit. Yeah, I've been having some.
Don't feel bad. We're all on the same boat together. It's like being on the Titanic. Once it hits the iceberg, we're gonna have to think about something. You know, it's called everyone has women and children first, then we all go last. That's life. So what you been doing? So what you been doing? You been cruising?
No cruising. I haven't been doing anything, Beast. I had to cancel a couple of vacations that I had, so I'm just kind of hanging out at home.
Well, don't feel bad. Everything nowadays is pretty much expensive. Well, we gotta learn to cut back a little while because everything's a little bit of a mess. Don't worry. Take your time. Take it slow. And like Stifler once said, let the good times roll.
Thanks, Beast.
Can't hear you. Restart. Go to commercial.
Well, Bob. Carl, I don't know if we can come back from this, but we'll try.
I'm gonna look, Jake. I'm gonna try harder in the future. Okay.
Is it true you're an Aaron Glenn bootlicker? The chat is ratting on you, saying you're not happy with people being critical of Aaron Glenn.
Oh, that's not true. Well, I'm all for giving Aaron Glenn another chance. You know.
What choice do we have? He's the head coach.
Well, we don't have any choice, but there's no sense in, if he's going to be there anyway, we might as well support him.
Well, who's not supporting him, though?
I don't know. I never said anybody was not supporting him.
Well, I'm saying if you're a Jet fan, obviously you're rooting for him to do well, but we also need to talk about the fact there's no evidence to suggest he has any idea what he's doing. Is that not fair?
Yeah, that's true. If you go by last year, I think that he's.
What else do I go by?
I think he's headed in the right direction.
Jake. Ask the question.
What does Aaron Glenn do well?
Oh, my God.
Carl, now I know why you've been away from the show. The truth comes out. You're a bootlicker, Carl. That's what's happened to you.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on Aaron Glenn's superpowers? Do you believe?
I believe he has some limited superpowers.
Play call is my superpower, really.
I don't know if it's play calling, I'll tell you that.
Well, that's a
but
problem.
I will say one thing. I think the Jets have shown me this offseason, I think they've shown me that they're serious about what they're going to do. I think I have a lot of faith in Moogie, and I like some of the coaches they hired. I like Dunbar. I think he's going to be good at, assisting Glenn in the defense. And I think Reich's going to be better as an offensive coordinator than Engstrand was.
Pretty low bar, but I agree.
Okay. And
hey, let me see your hands, Carl. Go like this real quick. All right. Pretty good hands. Don't let go.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Love it. Love it.
That's
good job.
That's this.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Anyway.
Man with the Jets tattoo, Carl. Hit it.
Well, he's a bootlicker, Glenn Butt Sniffer, putting perfume on a pig and telling Jake, check his say he's a bootlicker, Aaron Glenn Truther, holding out a rope and trying to sell us on this shit show.
I love it. The reason why I went so hard after Carl there is because I could tell he was lying through his teeth. If he has not been watching my show, if he didn't know he was in Asmaniac Madness. So that's how. So I just wanted to make fun of him for that because I know he was lying the whole time.
I will say I saw so many comments about Bradshaw in the chat, and I was very confused early on. Now that makes sense. But hey, people are going to be upset. It's perfectly fine.
You give opinions. Not everyone's going to like it.
Listen, I'd rather that than sit around and people just say, okay, well, he writes his stuff, he goes home, that kind of thing. If I have to be polarizing, so be it.
And shout out to Carl, though. I hope he does call back because I do like him as a person, but I just know
he's a great guy.
I just know he was full of crap. And he's like, I've been watching the show in the background. I'm like, no, you haven't. Come on. Let's not be dumb. Shout out to Lou B. Says Nick is a brilliant football mind. Love his takes. There you go.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Some Nick love right there. Derek, the Kansas Jet fan, in our Bill Parcells sign helmet raffle at the end of the show for one. Fantastic. Let's get to more of your calls. Ladies and gentlemen, I was wondering when they were going to call in because it is their day to perform in Asmaniac Madness. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello right now. Hold on. Let me get Nick on the screen to do this properly. We say hello right now to Peg and Artie.
You want to go do some role playing?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, dickwad.
It's time to party. Peg and Artie. We're gonna party. Peg and Artie. Jets fans will party with Peg and Artie.
Hey, Pegs.
Nobody gives a shit.
Then you all stink.
Listen, bitch. Pay your fucking taxes, man.
This really wasn't what I expected.
Eat a bag of dicks.
It's time to party with Peg and Artie. We're gonna party with Peg and Artie.
Hey, what's up, guys? Asmaniacs, how's everybody doing?
Artie.
I love this matchup with Purple Belt Mike. Purple Belt Mike is such a great guy. He's like one of those guys that at 3 o'clock in the morning, he called me up. I'd go pick him up at the airport.
What kind of stupid things like that to say?
Oh, shit. Look who's here. Peg, anyway.
Why did you say that? I'll crush you like a bug.
Peg, no, don't start with that shit. Take that skull cap off.
Thing now.
Oh, my God. Listen.
This is 50-50 right now, Artie. This is unbelievable. This is tight. Let's go.
This is a great matchup. We really do like.
Gotta go to a commercial.
We're just two goofballs, Asmaniac goofballs. We love to have a good time. Usually we have a good time wherever we go. That's about it. We try to do our best to make everybody laugh, have a good time. That's what this is really about. I mean, we deal with this dog shit team for the last 15 years.
Don't tell that to Carl, but yeah.
You want to play with the big dogs? You're going to get some big dogs.
Exactly. Right. So Peg knows the deal, and we just have a good time with it. We hope you vote for us because we do love all you Asmaniacs.
And eat a bag of dicks.
I gotta go.
Peg's beast impression is so good.
Incredible.
Bravo.
I love the cap with it too. It's perfectly done.
Love it. That is outstanding. More of your calls right now. Philly Noodles was on the line. I thought he had some intel he wanted to share about maybe some comments Carl made, but he dropped off the line. So there's a guy on the line named Sane Gary. We'll be the judge of that. Hello, Gary.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I don't have too much to comment on Asmaniac Madness. I mean, I guess I'm in it too, right? I think I saw Gary on there, but my whole thing is I just wanted to bring forward. Maybe I'm an eternal pessimist now. The Jets have finally broken me, but I can't help but feel like we're getting too complacent with Glenn here. My biggest fear is with all this Bailey noise that we keep hearing that, Bailey's the pick, is that there's truth to it. And, granted, I'm hoping we take Reese, but that's not really why I panic so much about the noise about Bailey being the pick. It's that we keep saying, Glenn's fixing some of the stuff. He's learning. He's not, we don't have leaks, like we have had, things like that. And if Bailey winds up being the pick, it kind of confirms all that for me. It confirms that, we haven't seen that growth from Glenn. We're going to have a lot of the same issues that we had. Our run, even down to, our run game, our defense against the run is going to be just atrocious. Well, I guess that's an exaggeration, but, stepping off the ledge a little bit there. Nonetheless, that's not the route to go if we're going to fix our defense, if we're going to fix our ability to stop the run and shut up some of these leaks. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there because I feel like I'm going insane here because I see, my poor father slipping back into, the Jets were going to the Super Bowl again, as we near the draft. And I'm just filled with worry, essentially.
Sane Gary, appreciate you calling in. Pretty sane Jets back and forth take there. Your thoughts on what he said?
I don't necessarily disagree with anything he said. It goes back to my original point, though. There is nothing Aaron Glenn can do right now that entices fans to get back on the bandwagon. This is the off season. This is the time for Darren Muji to do that, not Aaron Glenn. We're going to find out who Aaron Glenn is as a head coach in training camp and in OTAs and early on in the regular season when adjustments need to be made. We're not going to know now. And the coach says that he's learned a lot and he's learned from his mistakes. But we don't know if that's true. And I think it would be a fallacy to assume that he has or hasn't on April 17th, 2026. It's too early for that. So I don't necessarily disagree with anything Sane Gary is saying. I just think it's a little too early to even have the pessimistic mindset when they haven't even had the draft yet. If they come away with great players and players that the fan base is going to love, and they come out and look good in training camp, well, then, yeah, the optimism should be a little higher than it was in April or it was in February. So it just comes down to what are the expectations in April as opposed to what they're going to be, after the draft, after, this last run of free agency that happens and after OTAs.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Big fella wants to know, Sane Gary, should women be allowed to vote? Hey, Sane Gary, if you're still watching in the chat, if you could write in your thoughts on women's voting rights, just to determine if you are Sane Gary or regular Gary, please let us know. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Canadian Rocky is up next, a.k.a. Jets Jedi. Hello, Jets Jedi.
How's it going, Jake?
Give me a yo, Adrian.
Yo, Adrian.
Yes, let's go.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So, you know what? Like, I listened to the podcast driving to work today from your show earlier. Man, I got to say, Jake, you are the ultimate godfather. You're like the puppet master with this bunch of misfits that you got going on. It's the best. I love it. But
well, I appreciate it. But I remember your call a couple of days ago. You said the last time you called in was when Zach Wilson was still the Jet quarterback. You missed a lot. This show has evolved. We do a lot of things around here now.
You know what? It's almost too much. I got to be honest. But
typically the first hour of each show is usually mostly Jet talk. If you can't handle the craziness after that, that's all good. The show's free. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, no, I feel that, man. No, I just listen, man. Like I told you, I'm a football coach. I put a lot of time into looking at all the film on all these prospects, and if you take that time and you are in the trenches with these players and you're getting your kids ready for NCAA or post-secondary or any of that kind of stuff, look, man, I seen these guys, and I'm telling you, if we don't take Bailey, it is going to be the biggest mistake that the Jets have made since Zach Wilson. And I'll tell you why. Number one thing about Bailey, he passes the eye test. Number two, this man's FBI, his football intelligence, he's got a bag of tricks bigger than anybody I've seen since Von Miller. He's got the athleticism, number three. And number four, he's got the production. So he checks every single box.
Let me devil's advocate, because I like Bailey as a prospect, but the knock on him is he a 3-down player? Are the issues with him potentially against the run? Is that, can you overcome that if you're taking him second overall, whereas Reese could be a 3-down player?
See, okay, here this is my take on that. There's a lot of noise. Can he stop the run? Look, I believe he can, and not only that. If Glenn wants to play this hybrid, which I don't believe is going to work, he wants to play this 3-4 and 4-3. And I saw another interview. He said he's mostly going to be playing nickel. As an outside linebacker in a 3-4, Bailey can play that. In a 4-3, as a D-end, he can play that. In nickel, as a D-end, he can play that. So he's not coming off the field. Like, he's just not. It's not accurate. Now, I'm not here to bash Reese. But I'll tell you something about Reese. He gets lost on the field, okay? He is a joker in a front seven. And that's either because they don't know where the fuck to put him. And Patricia, I'm not a Patricia guy. Like, not because of the Patriots and stuff. I just feel that Reese has the best agent in sports bigging this guy up to be. He was, to me, watching the film, I watched 2 hours of film on Reese. And I'm telling you right now, Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs outperformed him. He was the third best player on that defense.
Well, he was asked to do different things, though. Right? You got to take that into account too. Like they didn't ask him to rush the passer. When they did, his pressure rate was basically what Bailey's was, shorter sample size, but like he could play all over the field. He's only 20. He's 3 years younger than Bailey. Again, Bailey's a phenomenal prospect. I think you're discrediting Reese when you're like, he gets lost over the field. Like the way Matt Patricia has spoken about Arvell Reese, and they're running an NFL system and all the different things they were asking Reese to do. That's the appeal of taking him potentially second overall.
The other piece to this is, you have to look at it from a couple different perspectives. First off, one of the reasons why the Jets may not be concerned about David Bailey's run defense is because Carl Dunbar is the coach. But you believe in your positional coaching staff to develop a player to be more than what he is currently. And there are plenty of edge rushers that come out of the draft that have some issues in run defense, but actually develop into really, really good players against the run because of quality coaching. If you're taking David Bailey, you're trusting that Carl Dunbar can turn him into a good run defender. You don't really need to worry about that about Arvell Reese. He's already a really good run defender on the edge. He sets the edge a lot better than Bailey. The other piece of this is this. If you are taking David Bailey over Arvell Reese and he doesn't get, let's say, 8 sacks, 9 sacks, the pressure rate isn't where you want it to be, and he needs to develop even further, you've essentially gotten rid of the higher upside player for someone who should have had more production early on. There's going to be, I think, a little bit more pressure on Bailey to produce in terms of sacks right away. For Reese, they will allow him to operate within the scheme of the defense. I think there's a little bit less pressure on him to come out and have 15, 14 sacks and already be a polished, developed pass rusher. I think giving him the opportunity to work in this young defensive mold for Reese, that is, I think is a little bit better of a fit as opposed to Bailey coming in and expecting to come in already and produce 12 sacks.
See, this is the thing, Nick, and I don't know, I don't know if you've played football or coached football or.
I've done both.
Oh no, did we lose Canadian Rocky? We'll never know. Canadian Rocky, good call though. Yo, Adrian, he does that great.
He's got a great voice for it.
Let's see. PBM in a tight battle right now. 51-49. He's trailing Peg and Artie. Trying to get some votes. 5 gifted memberships from Purple Belt Mike.
The Jet fans getting a little crazy.
Let's see who got him. You hear your name called, you thank Mike. Chico Andretti, Tommy Scuderi, Shiv Favre, Jay Sams, Austin Berry, all receiving a gifted membership there from Purple Belt Mike. Donna, shout out to you. You are in the raffle for 4. Always appreciate your support. Derek wanted to know if the Canadian rules are different than the NFL. The field is different. That I know for sure. The field size is a little different.
Yeah, I mean, field size, the point system's different. The goalpost aren't they in the middle of the end zone as well?
Yeah.
Completely different game.
Let's see. Upstate says Bailey is lazy and takes plays off, can't defend the run. Your thoughts, guys? I don't think he's lazy, and I don't think his issues against the run are as glaring as some. I think the truth is probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I agree. I know the majority. I said this on Boyd Green yesterday. The majority of Jets X Factor has seen the tape, and they do not want Bailey, any sense of the imagination. They want to avoid him like the plague.
Who would win in a battle royale, the Jets X Factor guys or the U Stadium guys? Because U Stadium, they're Bailey bros all the way. Jets X Factor, they're like leading the Arvell army.
Well, quite frankly, as someone who works for Jets X Factor, I will always take my team over anybody. But listen, I'm somewhere in the middle of this. I don't think the run defense issues are as glaring a hole as people want it to be. Do I think that the on-field concerns, the fact that he got into an altercation with the photographer, the fact that there were a couple other incidents, yeah, I think that's something that needs to be addressed. And the fact they didn't have a top 30 visit is a little surprising to me because of that. But again, if they take Bailey at 2, they have the most polished pass rusher in the draft. If they take Arvell Reese, they got the highest upside player in the draft. There is no way I look at either scenario and say the Jets made a mistake here. They win with either selection.
Let's say hello to Ron before we will say goodbye to Nick, and I'll stay on for the rest of the calls. Hello, Ron.
Hi, Jake. Nick, that was a really good salad you just made right there. Anyway, so Carl, that was so funny when you had Carl Squirm and Jake. Nobody realizes you're too big now. You got spies everywhere. Every show people watch, I watch them too. And it's like everybody, you can't get away with anything. So it's happened before. It's really funny, actually. And you were like I hope you take this right. You were like the sports version of Howard Stern in the early years, where you get all these characters. And anyway, it's just funny. It's a total compliment. Really, really funny. I love the growth of the show. And if you remember, Jake, a little while ago, unlike Carl, I do watch all your shows that I can, where you had Doozable, you were talking to Doozable, and he cleared up the Bailey run thing. So I don't really care who they pick, but that whole thing, I do trust his opinion on that. So anyway, but once again, I've been going back and forth like everybody. I want the right guy. I don't care who it is. Reese really does sound kind of appealing to me. And Nick, here's a question for you now. In your opinion, is Simpson the number 2 quarterback in this draft?
Absolutely. Clear cut.
You and like almost every analyst says that. So I'm a Jet fan for a long time. Jake, I've voiced my opinion before. I want a quarterback. I don't care if they get him. If it's the number 2 quarterback, if it's him or if it's Beck, whoever it is, I want that number 2 guy. I want to get him with our coaches, which I do believe in Frank Reagan. I want to get him. If he's the number 2 guy by 80% of the analysts, I want him. I would love to have him there, at least try to groom him. I know the whole thing. He might not get in. I see some people talk about, I saw a list of quarterbacks for next year, and a couple of those guys are so shaky that I don't even know that they're going to be on the list next year. So we might have 3 or 4 guys on there. So anyway, you've heard me before go on and on, Jake. But if he's the number 2 guy, I'm okay with taking the number 2 quarterback this year if we can get him on the team, on the roster. What do you think about it?
The logic of what you're saying, if it was just, he's clearly number 2 and he's clearly a first round guy, okay, sure, then he'd be in the conversation at 2. But there's a huge drop off between Fernando Mendoza and then Ty Simpson, and then an even bigger drop off seemingly from Ty Simpson to the other guys. Like we might have a quarterback go 1, we will. Maybe Ty is night 1. I think he's going to be there at 33 for the Jets. And then after that, like I couldn't tell you who the 3rd quarterback is and when they'll be drafted. I think it's the earliest somewhere in round 3. Like the reason it can't be always the number 2. He's the number 2 quarterback in a bad quarterback class. Just like a couple years ago, Malik Willis was the 2nd quarterback taken. He went in the 3rd round of that draft class. That Kenny Pickett was the only quarterback that went in the 1st round that year. Like the logic can't be, he's everyone's number 2 QB, but it's not a good quarterback class. So that can't be the logic why you would take him. You only take him if you think he's going to be a good player.
I firmly believe.
What about 33? I'm sorry, Nick.
No, it's all good. I firmly believe they're going to draft a quarterback this year. They wanted to last year. They want to get that process going of developing young quarterbacks and not having to pay backups $5-7 million a season. I think they are very content with the idea of taking a guy like Aller or taking a guy like Cade Klubnik in the later day 3 rounds, whether it's Aller in the 4th, Klubnik in the 5th or the 6th, and kind of developing them that way. I don't think they want to take a flyer on a guy that has 15 collegiate starts to his career.
I get it.
And listen, I think Ty Simpson got the raw end of a deal last year. Alabama's wide receivers were the worst pass catchers in the country. The offensive line was nowhere near what it has been. And he was still able to make, chicken salad with all this crap around him. But just because you're able to do that in the confines of Alabama and the structure of college does not mean you're going to be able to do that at the NFL level. So there are legitimate questions, there are legitimate concerns, and that's why I don't think the Jets are the right fit for him. I still think he's a first-round pick, though. I still think a team like the Rams, who have an established quarterback, who do not need to pressure him to get on the field this year, allow him to develop on the sidelines, that's a much better situation for him to go to than some place like the Jets. Because, and again, this isn't saying that the Jets offense is going to be crap this year. They have the offensive line. They have a starting quarterback. Whatever your opinion is on Frank Reich, he's an experienced play caller. But when you add it all together, there's still a possibility where the Jets are going to have to turn to a backup, and that's the worst thing you could possibly do this year if you're drafting Ty Simpson. Right. Let him sit for the year, let him develop, and then see what you have in 2027. That's not what the Jets' timeline is.
Okay. Jake, 33. You want him at 33?
I would probably prefer to trade out, but I would be okay if they took him there. That'd be the earliest I would take him.
Okay.
I'd love him at 44. I don't think we'll be there, but
I would too. That'd be really good. All right. Well, you guys have a great day. Nick, nice talking to you. Jake, once again, love your show. Earlier, you said something about the earlier part of your show being more serious, right? And so my friend Dwayne, we have a bunch of we all watch the show. He says, boy, then they bring that big guy in that lives in his attic. And he's like, I said, you don't get it, man. You got to enjoy that stuff. He's like,
global
I like the
studio headquarters, not an attic.
So I'm trying to get them, like, I learned to like all that stuff, and I'm trying to get them to, to buy into it. They'll watch a little bit. I saw that guy. I said, so you watched it. So they're starting to like it. So I'm trying to get them on board with the whole thing, But anyway, love it, man.
Ron, really appreciate the kind words, man. One of the things we've done too is we post pretty much every day, 25 to 30 minutes of just two of the best segments or topics of discussion from the previous day. So those have done really well. So if you want just straight Jets, you can get that there. And usually the first 45 minutes to an hour, twice a day, you're not finding more Jets content than on this channel. Like, I'm sorry, it's just a fact. And I love all the other content creators. We have them on all the time, but I'm the only one who's doing 4 hours of content a day in June and July when there's nothing going on. And typically the first 45 minutes to an hour is mostly all Jets. So you can't make everyone happy, but the reason why I'm able to do this year round is because we do fun things like Asmaniac Madness. We take calls. Charles Gorman will take his shirt off. These are the type of things that you need when you talk about a team that has missed the playoffs for 15 straight years. Hit it.
You guys laugh. It's not funny.
This is regurgitating.
Those are two fairly young men.
You want to see what a real man looks like?
They don't care. They think it's funny that they're sickly and ill.
This ain't no bullshit.
Beast and Gorman look great.
Yeah, they're both physical specimens.
Destructive but constructive.
That's extraordinary, yeah.
272 pounds, muscle and might.
I'm all thrown off here. I'm all flustered here. Can I get to my jet point?
Yeah, you could try.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't fuck off, I don't know what else will. Have a good day.
You love it, Nick. You love it.
What did I do to deserve this, man?
Happy Friday. You enjoy your weekend. I'll talk to you next week.
You too, buddy. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Faria with us. It is Weekly Spot. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. I've never seen someone get radicalized like Neil has by Lou B. Both Reese and Bailey are bad choices. Get the only no-miss player in the draft. Love. The only no-miss player in the draft I heard last year was the guy the Raiders took out of Boise State, who was a Heisman finalist. What's his name? Why can't I think of the guy's name? You know who I'm talking about. And look, do I think that the Jets would be better equipped in this ridiculous scenario? They take Jeremiah Love at 2 than the Raiders were last year when they took Ashton Genty. Yes, but you don't do it. You won 3 games. You don't take a running back second overall. Makes no sense. Phantom Lights in the raffle for 4. What up, Phantom? Quick reminder that there's a difference between difference of opinion and espousing hateful, outmoded rhetoric and dehumanizing targeted groups. Women are just as important asset to society as men. Full stop. Look, amen, Phantom. Just be careful because Gary 3D Boxing is out there. He's lurking. He will see this and he will feel like it is his now job, his responsibility to respond to you.
No, you're wrong. Wow, what the? Oof, that hurt. Where am I? The moon? Seriously?
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're 12 subscribers away from 45,000. So if you have not subscribed yet, please do so. Otherwise, I'm going to play the Gorman shirtless video on loop. And no one wants that. Bill Parcells' signed helmet is our raffle prize at the end of the show. For those of you just tuning in. And then again, reminder, tomorrow, weekly raffle. We have a signed Corbett football, signed Garrett Wilson helmet, and a signed Arvell Reese football. All up for grabs. Let's go. All right, here we go. Philly Noodles, you're next. Hello, Philly.
Yeah, what's up, man? Oh my God. Man, the dry snitching on the show. I'm sure you tune in usually every Friday, right? It's Letterer Friday.
So I didn't get to fire off my death taxes and Friday Bob Letterer super chat. I woke up too late, but I would have. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, does he realize he watches the show usually? Like, I'm sure he could have warned Nick Faria, hey, listen, man, you got a hater out there, bro. Like, come on, man. He's a columnist. He's a writer. Everybody's going to hate on somebody. It's not a big deal. But the dry snitch was wild, dude. Like, I honestly, when he first came about on your show, I think it was he first debuted on your show, I believe, and then BG or vice versa. But I thought he was in WITSEC. Because someone had asked him, like, yo, what do you do? And he was like, he wasn't at liberty to say what he did. So I'm like, you're either like an ex-CIA agent or some shit, and you're just not telling
This is
nobody.
Carl we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm telling Carl. I was like, what the? I was like, it was the weirdest answer he gave. And I'm like, dude, you're heading off to like a weird start here, bud. And I'm like, all right. But I didn't even know he made Asmaniac Madness, which is okay. But hey, you know what?
Which the whole thing is, like, if you make it, like, we recognize you as a great caller throughout the year and show support. He was like belittling it. It's like the committee did you a favor. They put you in, they acknowledge your cause. What are you doing?
That's how you get ousted by the Asmaniac community. This is how we kick you out. You know what I mean? We'll embrace Faria hate before we allow that to happen, like all day, every day. Actually, embracing hate on Nick Faria might get you up on the you might make the tournament if it's good enough over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just laughing. I just thought about that. You have the Beast now with Gorman no shirt. You got the Bobby no shirt dance. You haven't played that one in a while. I don't want to see it, but you're just arming. You're arming them, dude. You're arming them up. You have like a nuclear weapon. You're just building nuclear weapons. But
let's get to the real item though. Who did you vote for? I need to know, because right now it's anyone's ball game here. You seeing this poll right now? 52-48.
Peg and Artie are classic. I went PBM. I can't help it. I've had correlation with him on the show, while on, and I never really get to talk to Peg and Artie live ever. And I think I did with PBM once. So I was like, all right, I can't help it. PBM. It's my dude. He's cool. And yeah, that's what I went with. It's Purple Belt Mike. You know what I mean? I guess he's like so Peg and Artie, like the tried and true. I came in 2-3 years after you started the show. So PBM for me. It is what it is. But they're both staples to the environment. They're staples in the community, 100%. And I did have a question for Nick, but I'll ask you. On Badlands, they were speaking about how they're gonna, drop their draft, their draft presser and bring out all the stops. And I think what's his name went over like 200 different players, and he said that there was a lot more 30s that were done with the Jets with other players, and he can't reveal it. It would be like, do you know if there's any other players that we don't know of that they had any other meetings with, or beside like that quarterback, Charlie, whatever his name is.
What are you saying? You're saying the Jets had more top 30 visits with players?
Maybe not
that
top 30s, but excuse me, but like other visits. They had like a bunch of other visits that they just could not, you know what I mean? You can't
there's
find
different
out.
type of visits. You could set up what they did with Simpson, a private workout, or you could do an official top 30 visit, which you have to announce with the NFL, and then it gets leaked out there typically by the agent for the player. They want it out there to try and drum up interest in their guy. Oh, all these teams are interested in him. He's going to go a lot higher than you think. The job of the agent is to get their player to go as high as possible because that's more money. That's just these contracts are all slotted, so that's why stuff gets out there. But sometimes stuff slides under the radar. Like David Bailey's top 30 visit wasn't supposed to be this week. It was supposed to be at some point last week or the week prior. No one knew it got canceled until Connor Hughes got that story before anyone. So you don't know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I thought I saw something on one of these centers or interior guards. I forget his name. I saw it earlier.
Leon, who's on top of it, said Connor Rogers intimated the Jets have had some secret unreported visits and meetings, which also does happen too.
Yeah, that I wonder if you had any clue or at all, but
I haven't heard anything specific to that.
Yeah, I don't know. Just 1 week away. I think we'll hear, other little scuttlebutt, but yeah, let's go.
Philly, excellent call. Appreciate you. Keep it rolling here. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Andrew C., the Dream in the house. He says, I want that Parcells Helmer. Raffle me, Jake. Dream, you were in the Asmaniac raffle. Of course, we'll get you down for the signed Bill Parcells Helmer. Yes. Let's go.
No, thank you.
Jets. Let's go.
Super chat from Peg and Artie. A vote for Peg and Artie is a vote for all Asmaniac.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
52-48, the final, or not the final score, the current score. Vote. And at the end of the show, we will determine who will face Charles Eugene M. Gorman in the Elite Eight of the Grown Ass Man region. What a battle. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Big fella trolling Nick Faria writes in. Jake, you said you post 20-minute clips of highlights of Jets talk with guests. How you can do that with Nick Faria? I said 20 to 30 minutes, big fella. Sometimes we do multiple guests. Shout out to Dom D'Angelo, who's been cutting those up regularly the last month or so. Mickey says, you down to get Justin Tucker? We need a kicker. I mean, if he's been legally cleared, someone will probably sign him. The Jets brought him in for a visit last year. Will Parkinson reported that. I don't know if he ever tweeted it, but I know he said it on a couple podcasts. So, yeah, I don't think it's crazy. Honestly, people might not like it, but bottom line is, like, Justin Tucker's helping the Jets win games. People will look the other way. That's just how this goes. PBM says, I need my wife to get home and get me some votes. PBW could be the Mariano Rivera of the PBM performance. Right now he's trailing, though. Clancy says, Jake, who started the collective? Now the Dolphins have one too, with TD Finstock and another guy from Finn's Tailgate. The collective concept has been around. It was put together by one of my marketing agents, like what the marketing agency company. They approached me and said, who do I want to work with? I said, Samini and BT. And we pretty much made it happen from there. They got PrizePicks to sponsor it, which is awesome. And the big thing for me was I didn't want to just do another Jet show. I'm on the air for 4 hours a day already, plus radio, plus I do roundtable part-time with Richie and Matt O'Leary. So it had to be something different, and that's where BT and Samini come in. And I think it's been awesome. It's been a really fun show so far. We've been the most successful Jets collective they've launched. And I knew about the collective concept because my old radio partner in Houston is on the Texans collective. My friend Bobby Trosted is the host of the Ravens collective with Jeff Cerebeck, who covers the Baltimore Ravens for The Athletic. So that's kind of how it got started. They do all the thumbnails for it. They upload it. I just show up Tuesday nights, or it will be Tuesday nights during the season. It will be Tuesday night this week. That's for sure. We'll do one show before the draft. But I basically just show up, and then Rich, BT, and I, we have topics prepared, and then we do the show. So it's been great for me because all I have to do is just promote it, and can't thank the Asmaniac community enough that's been tuning in because all the super chats have been from this audience, which is incredible. Rich and BT couldn't believe it. They're like, people pay for comments to be read? I go, yeah. They want to support. Doc Jetfan says Jets Collective has quickly become must watch. Well, thank you, Doc. Leon says Samini is underrated and underappreciated. Agreed. And I think people get to see Rich's personality a little bit more. You cover the Jets for 40 years. You're going to be a little cynical at times, but I think sometimes like you can't always interpret tone if you see a tweet or an article. Rich is awesome. But shout out to everyone who's tuned into the Collective because it's been fun. And I think that show during the season is going to be awesome. You know, BT and I are both crazy, passionate fans. Rich has got the insider info. So definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Andrew C checks in. He says, according to my insiders, it's reset to. Don't worry, guys. Lock it in. Well, we obviously know the Dream has some of the best sources known to man. So I guess it's official. Arvell Reese, he's going to be a Jet. Let's get back to your calls now, shall we? On the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline right now is a man who could be drunk. He could be sober. We'll find out right now.
Sean, he wears batshit crazy glasses. Spikes his football in the toilet. He might be a little drunk. 3D Gary thinks the guy is a midwit. Is that a Cybertruck on his face? Let's ask Sean Sugator.
Hey Jake, how you doing?
Happy Friday, Sean.
Happy Friday. You know, the weekend is here. It's present. And, you know, we'll party over the weekend because the week it was so sucky. So
what was wrong with your week?
There's a lot of complications with work and you know, trying to manage things and maneuver around people, you know. It's always a challenge, you know.
Yeah, crazy things happening.
Yeah, you know. I'm generally like not a people person. It was extra rough on me. Plus I'm on like honestly, Jake, like I'm on psych meds. So I'm not even supposed to be drinking. But you know what?
Maybe we cut out the drinking then. That'd be a good idea.
No. My life without drinking would be miserable, man.
Well, you just said you're not supposed to be drinking while you're on the medication.
Yeah, but the medication makes me all sad and lethargic, pretty much.
But,
like I don't care.
Perhaps have we thought about an alternate solution though? We take the medicine, but then we do something else to replace the alcohol with that perhaps can make you more upbeat without needing that.
Yeah, it's like a brain condition, man. It's like things don't fire off right, you know, like the chemistry thing. But let's get back to football, right? Because I don't want to like display my whole like existence on here. But
existence.
My whole like, you know.
Do you exist or are we in a simulation?
My whole physical unit. Yeah, the simulation theory. I don't want to get into that, Jake. Please don't get me.
Oh, why not?
But because I don't want to go down that path, that rabbit hole. I don't. I'm not, you know, I say Alec in Wonderland because I'm a dude. But well, anyway, Jake, and I respect your show. Nick Faria was awesome. I like Nick Faria. He must love green. Basically, you know, I'm just like, you know, like you guys, man. Like I'm part of the shit party. You know, the party that goes wrong it turns into me like a sorcerer's party, and we don't. None of us get laid. So, no disrespect to the women. I love.
How was prom night for you, Sean? What'd you do prom night?
My prom night?
Yeah, what year was that?
Honestly, I took out this girl one time. Right, I took her out, and obviously it didn't work out. And
what year did you graduate high school?
98.
Okay, so we're 98. The Jets are coming off a 12-win season. Or actually, no, it's before, right? This is before.
It was one of my best years.
97. Yeah. Jets are coming off a 9-7 season. They should have made the playoffs. Don't ask Beningo about that last game in Detroit. But anyway, 98. All right. It's what is it? June of 98. Set the stage for us here.
All right, June for 98. All right. I went into the season thinking because we, you know,
No. We're talking about your
we
prom.
recently changed the jerseys. Remember, like we changed the
We're
jerseys.
talking prom. 98
prom life. It was like just a situation in life. It was like that you had to go through. You had to, not that you willingly wanted to go through, but you went through it anyway.
Who is the lovely lady?
Her name was Jasmine, but
she took Jasmine to prom.
Yeah. It didn't, it was just like, nothing really happened. She was a very respectful girl at the time. And I didn't take advantage. And I just,
Were you guys going as friends? Lovers?
It was almost like we're more friends. It was more friends stuff. It was more friends. Casual stuff.
Good time?
I don't want to get into that, Jake.
It wasn't a good time? 98 prom, you and Jasmine wasn't fun?
I don't want to get into the specifics of the prom. But anyway, Jake, I really believe Arvell Reese is everybody says he's Micah Parsons 2.0. No, I think he's will be like his own player. He's not going to be a Micah Parsons. He's going to be his own Arvell Reese.
And his background was Jasmine, just so I could get a better picture of what's happening here.
She was Puerto Rican.
Okay.
So there was a barrier, let's just say, with the ethnicity
language
barrier. No, she spoke good English. And I speak some Spanish because my mom's half Puerto Rican. So, but it was just a barrier, let's just say. So, but anyway, besides the prom, Jake, why are you so stuck on this prom thing?
Well, we were going down memory lane. I did go to prom, yes.
And did you like the girl you went out with?
We were just friends, but yes, I went to prom twice.
See?
Yeah.
I liked her, but she moved on. She got it, and everything happened organically, So
when was the last time you spoke with Jasmine?
As God intended it to be, it became. So
where's Jasmine now?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to the girl in like 30 years.
What was the Jet record the last time you spoke to her?
Oh man, we had a good team, man. But it's such a good team. It's almost what we're like 11-5?
12-4.
12-4. 12-4 that year. One of the best years we ever had, man. We had the dominant team. Denver. Just imagine if we went into postseason like New England did. Is the easy, schedule they had. Forget it, man. We would have won the Super Bowl in 98. But no, we had it tough. We had it tough always. So we faced, Denver, a running juggernaut because they have one of the best offensive lines.
Do you think you need to rekindle with Jasmine for the Jets to potentially end the playoff drought?
Who's asking these questions, Jake? You or the Jake Asman, viewers? What do you call them?
My job is to ask the tough questions that others won't ask. That the chat is
Asmanians, yeah, the Asmanians. Are you asking for you or for the Asmanians?
I'm asking on behalf of the Asmaniac universe where Jasmine is, potentially you guys rekindling and that leading to greatness for the Jets. Because think about it, the last time the Jets won 12 games in the season was when you and Jasmine were canoodling at prom.
There's a better chance of Namath like eating a box of 12 like donuts, a dozen donuts, and dying, while he's doing it.
Hey, a couple questions here. Yo Holmes wants to know what Jasmine's phone number is.
Oh man, she was a Spanx. No, I'm kidding. No, but no, I'm kidding. No. Honestly, like,
Hey, what if
it's
you
the
sing
past,
All Star
man.
by Smash Mouth?
Smash Mouth. I love Smash Mouth.
Maybe if you sing some All Star by Smash Mouth, you'll win Jasmine back.
The lead singer died like 3 years ago, man. I was upset about that. But yeah, so look, can we talk back Jets, or are we just gonna do like prom stuff?
I'm trying to talk about the Jets. We're trying to figure out where Jasmine is.
Jake, I feel like you're using me in like this circus
Jasmine
arena
and the
type
Jets
area.
Think about it, Sean. The Jets won 12 games in 98. Did they not?
Yeah, but that's what you might as well just say Joe Namath, like go to his apartment, ask him.
You went to prom with Joe Namath?
Did he sell his soul? I don't know. But anyway, I played in high school. I played as a safety. I told you that, right?
Leon writes in, Jasmine is now a 300-pound trucker named Dave. Is this true?
Who's to say? I haven't heard it from 30 years. So who's to say what she's doing? Probably have like 5 kids. Who knows? But anyway, Jake, you have any kids?
No, I don't have any kids. At least I hope not.
You don't want to spread the Jake seed around?
I didn't say I don't ever want to have kids. I just said I don't currently have any kids that I'm aware of.
It'll make you like it changes you, man. It really does.
Are you a father, Sean?
But yeah, I fathered 3 kids.
Where are your kids now?
They're adults.
How old are you?
23, 21, and one's 19. I'm 48.
You had kids pretty young then, no?
No, I had kids when I was 24.
That's young.
Yeah. But wait, yeah. So anyway, Jake, the Jakester. No, but
by the
tell
way, Sean,
Gary-
congrats on the sex 3 times.
Thanks. I do it for America.
You're welcome.
But Gary has issues, man. I want to face Gary. Is Gary on?
He's not.
Damn it. Gary's such a fucking. Sorry, excuse my language.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
What are your issues with Gary?
He's such a narcissistic guy, man. He's, saying like, talking about people's weight, talking about women like belong in the kitchens. Dude, this.
What are we doing with this angle, Sean?
Saying like, talking about people's weight.
Sean? Sean? Uh-oh. Sean, don't drink alcohol on your medicine. We appreciate your time. Some super chats. This one's from Derek, who writes in, love the show this morning, Jake. I want to wish you and every single Asmaniac a wonderful day. Y'all the best and all the love. Go Jets, baby. Derek, I appreciate you. Let's go.
Yes. All right, let's go.
Signed Bill Parcells helmet up for grabs. Enter the raffle for your chance to win. I'm going to gift the membership because we're a little light on memberships for such a big prize. I want to get more people an opportunity to win. So if you get a membership from me, I'm putting you in the Parcells helmet raffle coming up at the end of our show. One gifted membership from yours truly is on its way.
No, thank you.
Jets. Let's go.
Yeah, buddy. It has been gifted, and listener William Chesson is the recipient of the gifted membership from yours truly. Congratulations to William. He's in the raffle for one. Let's see. Pagan already writes in, if we win, I will do a shot of Henny live on the air. Let me tell you, this is a battle right now. I just saw it again. Wow, 50-50 PBM mounting a comeback here. Let's go.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
How about this? PBM then says, I got Eagle Rare Risky. I'll do F it. So both Asmaniacs have pledged to basically rip shots on the air of their alcohol of choice should they advance. Philly Noodle says, Jake definitely watched the new Euphoria season. I haven't seen it yet. I know what the first episode dropped the other day. I forgot like what's happening in the show. I'm going to need to watch like the recap at the beginning. I mean, the show has been on the air in like 4 years. But I will eventually get to it. Cisco Lopez in the house. Hello, Cisco. He's in the raffle for 5. Let's go.
Jets, Jets.
Here's who got a membership from Cisco. Ryan to catch, AZ Jets, Texans fan 25, Drew Yeller, Dallas James Santana, all receiving a gifted membership. Oh, we got more action here. Jetstream in the raffle. 5 more gifted memberships.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Jetstream up to 10 entries this show. T. Bergari, John Scadone, Matt from L5. That's right. Matt Siegel, a recently engaged man. Congrats to him. Weeb the Dweeb, free at last, all receiving a gifted membership there. Plus, we got another one from Forbin. Forbin, thank you very much. I got you down for another entry. Let's go.
No, thank you.
Jets. Let's go.
Forbin 02. Forbin 02. Is that Cal Forbin or that's a different Forbin? I don't know who's who. I'm just going to put you both in and one of you figure out who the real Forbin is because there was another Forbin earlier under a different name. Forbin dash 02S. Interesting name. All right. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. It is right now anyone's ball game at Asmaniac Madness. 50-50 PBM trying to get some more votes at the buzzer here. 5 gifted memberships from Purple Belt Mike. Here we go. 5 spot of memberships from Joel Dario, Bobby K, 5K, JC Ghost, Barry Reed, Steve Gillingham, all receiving a gifted membership from Purple Belt Mike. Will it be enough to propel him to victory? Mimosa in the house. She is in the Asmaniac raffle for 10. A big time contribution. Oh my goodness.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Mimosa writes in, put me in the raffle, Jake. Question, what if we move up from 16 to get Jeremiah Love and use him as a pass catcher and running back? We need a receiver. Sounds like he can play both positions. Go Jets. I just don't think they would do that, Mimosa. First off, I don't know if Jeremiah Love gets out of the top 5 based on the recent buzz about him. So to move all the way up from 16 to 5, it's going to cost even more than moving up to get Carnell Tate. So it just doesn't sound like something the Jets are going to do. Now, if they took Jeremiah Love, I know we all say, line him up as a receiver, but we've been saying that about Brees for 4 years. And I don't know if you're not going to trade up and then take for a running back because it's just going to cost too much. I just don't think that's realistic. If you have thoughts of doing something like that, you would just draft him at 2 and then you get the best defensive player on your board at 16. That's how you'd have to handle it. I don't think they're going to do it. But Mimosa, you're the best, and you're in the raffle for 10 entries.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
Love it. This one is from Aaron. Aaron, thank you. Love your show. When you coming out to throw a get-together in LA, we need Reese for the defense, trade down from 16 if we can't get a receiver. If they can't get one of the big 3 and they can move out of 16, I'm in. Amen. As far as when we're coming to LA, it could be this year for the Asmaniac meetup. We're just going to wait for the schedule. I think the preference from talking to my audience is Nashville, and that could be week 1, so we'll have hope. And there'll be some drama, some juice facing Salah in that game. Nashville's a great city. I was there for the NFL draft in 2019. It was awesome. But we'll see. It's going to depend on the dates of these games, right? I mean, the Jets have a fascinating road schedule to do a meetup. So I'm excited. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 50-50 this late in the show, and both contestants are on the line. So what we're going to do right now is having Asmaniac face off.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Of all the dramatic things I've ever seen, it is 50-50 this late in the show. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go, baby. May the best Asmaniac win. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah.
What's up, guys?
Yeah. Dude, I'm actually shocked that I was able to come back and tie it. I thought I was gonna lose
Mike,
easily.
you're an incredible competitor, man. You're an awesome dude.
Try
Your
it,
wife's
brother.
awesome. I'm serious. If you ever need a ride from the airport, you just call us up. And at the end of the show,
yeah,
whoever
man.
wins and loses, I want us all to do a shot to salute
Let me
all
grab my whiskey.
Asmaniacs.
Let me grab my whiskey. Hold on. Right back.
Can't wait.
What? What do we do? And who was that?
Purple Belt Mike's on.
Oh, so we're going on with him?
We're not going to do that.
Oh, we're not?
No, don't do that. Where's PBM?
Right here.
Oh, there you are.
I got my wife calling me right now.
All right,
Let
cool.
me see. Look, got the wife calling. Here, I'll do a quick swig. You got one on you right now?
I got a Bloody Mary here.
I got.
Cheers, my brother.
I'm gonna
Oh,
Yeah, go here. Go
Where's
get
the
your...
honey?
No, we'll get honey later after the thing.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm not even on screen.
Woo!
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
What a battle. What a battle. 50-50 right now, folks. Winner will take on Gorman in the next round. The Elite Eight. Asmaniac Madness, baby. Let's go. All right, more of your calls right now before we wrap this baby up. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate everyone for their support. Let me shout out some memberships that have been flying off the shelves. We got the best listeners, man. Invader Zin is in the raffle for 5.
No, thank you.
Jets. Let's go.
Jesse Owen, Justin Chadwick, Melissa Cruz, Jets 1, 2, 3, all receiving a gifted membership there from Invader Zin. Let's get to now more of your calls before we wrap this one up. Got about 20 minutes or so left in this afternoon's show on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline. Right now is none other than...
I'm Ricky, New York, and I love to smoke. Florida State, I really love Florida State. Jordan Travis, you know he's from Florida State. At any rate, I call into smoking debate. Florida State, I really love Florida State. At any rate, thanks for taking my call, Jake.
Jake, what's happening?
Ricky!
It's been a minute since I've been on. I've been working a lot lately and haven't been able to make it on. This is only the second time I've been able to vote in this tournament. I voted for Lane against myself, and then I showed up today to vote for Paganardi. And me and my daughter and my wife all voted for Paganardi. So big supporters of my fellow Floridians. And dude, less than a week away. Can't wait for this draft to happen and finally be over with, and finally get to open our presents and quit talking about them, and just to settle the Reese and Bailey debate. The Bailey thing is definitely all smoke. Okay, I am an expert on smoke.
That's right.
And I know it when I see it. So take it from me, Reese is the pick.
So you think they're definitely taking Reese?
Absolutely, 100%.
I tend to think that I've gone back and forth on this all week. I tend to think that it's still probably going to be Reese from this standpoint. If you were going to take Bailey, I don't think you cancel the top 30 visit. I don't think that's nothing. They met with him at his pro day on March 26th. Wouldn't you want to get more FaceTime with him that's available before you invest $50 million in the number 2 overall pick in the guy? They did have a confirmed top 30 with Reese. I've gone back and forth because it's so heavy on Bailey, but I'm gonna lean Reese. I think it's gonna be Reese. Subject to change again by Thursday. I'll make a final prediction.
Right. Well, going back, I mean, we didn't hear anything about the Sauce trades, about the Jermaine trades. I mean, there have been no leaks from the building at all And then all of a sudden a week ago, like it's leaking worse than the Titanic, and the Bailey news is just everywhere. Like it just doesn't seem to track that we'd go from no leaks to suddenly everybody knows what they're doing. But listen, I think it's definitely going to be Reese. But dude, I've done so many different mocks, so many different combinations, and I take those first 4, no matter who they are, and add them to this roster, and it makes this team significantly better. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Just get good football players, help build this team out, and then everything will be in place when we get our eventual franchise quarterback.
From your lips to God's ears, Ricky, because we can't handle the losing any longer.
Right? Yeah, it's a time to close that chapter and move on. Good things are in store. Have a great day, Jake. Have a great day, everybody. Vote Paganardi. Go Jets.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Good call there from Ricky. Hey, shout out to Jetstream. What a gentleman. Thanks for the content, Jake. Both contestants are worthy. Jetstream, 10 more raffle tickets. I really appreciate the gesture. Let's go. Give him a jet chant. Hit it. It's been some show. You know, some people say that this guy's on the show too much. I'd say, well, we're an hour and 45 minutes in, and he hasn't appeared once, at least in live format form. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline for the first time this show live is this man.
Buenos tardes. ¿Cómo está?
Have you recovered from your donut today?
That was a cakewalk. Come on now. I already had a slice of cherry pie. That was a good way to go. I already got my chicken tenders and 3 sirloin steaks that I picked up today.
Can we recap what you've eaten today, though, or what you've had food-wise? If I'm understanding properly, you have had a chocolate glazed donut that I paid for this morning. Cherry pie, you just said?
That's right.
What else?
Got it. Let's see. Let's see. I already put away my sirloin steaks that I got set, and they're beauties, too.
What have you actually had to eat today? Like you've consumed and put in your body?
Dad, just a sexy cherry pie.
So the only things you've had today is a chocolate glazed donut and a cherry pie.
Hey, cherry pie is pretty sexy. Also, my favorite drink that I've been loving, and I got to give Lou B his credit. I've been loving this drink for quite a while now, and I got to give him thanks for getting me into the sponsors. My favorite sponsor, Poppy.
Now, Beast, do you understand how sponsors work? They're supposed to pay you to talk about their product.
Yeah, I know. We know that. But
they're not
I want to thank. I love this stuff.
You're just paying for it with your own money.
Well, I got to give Lou B credit for getting me hooked into this stuff because, hey, this stuff is a magic. It's better than that other crap with the high fructose corn syrup. This has even better. It's a 5G sugar, and it's real sexy. Ooh, yeah. And I'm talking real sexy. Ooh, yeah.
I'll give you sexy.
You guys laugh.
Right
it's
here.
not funny.
This is regurgitating.
Those are 2 fairly young men.
You want to see what a real man looks like?
They don't care. They think it's funny that they're sickly and ill.
This ain't no bullshit.
Beast and Gorman look great.
Yeah, they're both physical specimens.
Destructive but constructive.
That's extraordinary, yeah.
272 pounds, muscle and might.
I'm all thrown off here. I'm all flustered here. Can I get to my jet point?
Yeah, you could try.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't fuck off, I don't know what else will. Have a good day.
That's right. See, People Magazine already knows who the real sexy god is right here. Why? 5'9", 272 pounds. Done it all. Seen it all, heard it all, lived it all, been to it all. Come on. The best is
How do you explain Gorman being on the cover of People Magazine?
Bullshit. I'm sorry. He doesn't have the nuts enough to do what I've done. I've done more than what that clown could not do on his best day. Guarantee right here. Let me just run it down for you. When it comes to loading up a mower, can't do it. There's some things he can't do that I can do. Play billiards, live a good life, live the extreme hardness of life, and do what I do best: win world gold. Dominance is my key. Total domination. That's what I do for a living. That's why, if you look at my family right now, between me and my daughter, we own over 40 of the best belts in the world. And why? It's because we bleed, we fight, we survive, and we take an ass whooping. Why? They don't make warriors like us anymore. You know why? Today's warriors are a bunch of soy boy.
You shit when you pee. Now go to another caller.
Well said, Beast. That's a man's band right there, folks. A manly of manly men. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. I've begun counting raffle names. We have a significant update in voting here. PBM has retaken the lead. It's as tight as it possibly can be. It is right now 51-49. Purple Belt Mike leading Peg and Artie with 486 votes that have been cast. Super chat from the Dream Andrew C, who says, Jake, asked Beast if he got those holes drilled in the bowling ball. Dream, I know that you're going to be disappointed because there's no chance Beast did that.
To that, okay? Look, I don't have a car. Do I have time on my hands? No, I don't. Am I very busy? Yes. Look, I'm not a one-man army here. I can, a certain age, you got to take it slow. It's not sex.
Why are you getting so mad?
Because people need to get off my nuts and stop acting like the world's gonna blow up in 100,000 pieces.
He got you a nice gift.
I understand that, but look at my schedule. I got stuff I got.
Pie today and a glazed donut from Dunkin' Donuts.
You just want to really kick it full force. This is a joke. I don't know what the hell.
You didn't do anything today, Mike. You could have got the holes drilled in the ball.
Next. I have a schedule on hand. You think I'm running a soup kitchen?
You ate a donut and cherry pie.
If I had a car, what
am I missing?
I am trying to. Do I have a car? No. Do I have a life? Yes, I do have a life. But is it very tough? Of course, it's very tough. Anyway, get off my nuts. I got a life. Learn to live it. You can't live life, then you know what? What the hell what am I talking to? The wall? I'm better off talking to the goldfish better than that. At least they'll say bloop, 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 bloop. Yeah, at least the goldfish have something better to say, better than yelling at retards on steroids or crack. Wow.
What, look like a retard to you or something?
25 says only dominating Beast does is when he dominates his unhealthy meals.
Yeah, well, he's a dumbass just like the rest. See, let me give you a perfect example. Winger wrote it in 1990s called Easy Come, Easy Go. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you know why? Y'all don't have what it takes. You don't got it. Unless you're up to my speed, you're not quality enough. Your qualities are weak.
Sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Beast, I got breaking news. Andrew C has offered to cover the Uber for you to go and get the holes in the Kingpin.
Well, he'll have to. Well, right now it's almost 5 o'clock, and right now we don't know if they're going to be closing or what's going to happen because right now I'm not prepared to go out there and get shot at because let's see, a couple of days ago there was a shooting right down the street from me, and I'm not prepared to even do anything that drastic. So the best times I go is in the morning hours because I'm a morning person.
Calm down, Beast. We don't need to do this second, but in the near future, he's saying.
We'll get to that point, okay? Just keep your underwear on, and like Lars Ulrich once said, don't get your dick out like the Who did on stage.
Also, nobody's getting shot. It's 5 p.m. Central Time where you are. Relax.
Oh, you don't think we all can figure it out? I have the Citizens app on my phone. See, I watch very closely. I'm not like these big talkers and all smart finger gestures. I don't care about them. They're nobodies to me. See, people can talk a big game, but when it comes to 4th and 15, people punt. I don't like the punt. I like to stuff it down their throat and go for the W. That's what makes champions. See, there are pretenders, and then there are the contenders. I'm a contender. Half of the chat don't have none of the balls left in their life. They're pretenders to the throne because they don't.
You got this, Beast. You do your thing, man. All right, stay safe on the mean streets near the Global Studio headquarters. Couple minutes left of the show. 51-49 is currently the score. Unbelievable. What a battle. What a throwdown. I mean, two titans of the industry going at it. PBM, Party with Peg and Artie. It's truly anyone's ball game late in the show. I'm counting raffle names right now. Before we get to any of that, though, let's talk about my prize pick lineup tonight, baby. I didn't win yesterday, but I'm pretty confident we're going to win tonight. I just submitted a new lineup for the Yankee game later. Aaron Judge, he's going to strike out at least once. I'll tell you why. And I'm not rooting for this, but I'm going to win some money when it happens. And Carter Jensen, he's going to strike out at least once as well. There's a 2-pick prize pick power play, $10 to win 16. Here's why I'm predicting what I'm predicting. 1, Jensen has 18 strikeouts this year and 54 at-bats. Cam Schlittler's on the mound for the Yankees. He's never faced the Royals. Good luck. They're not going to be familiar with what's coming. Schlittler will strike out Jensen at least once. I believe that will happen. And Aaron Judge, who is, he is the best pure hitter in baseball, but he does strike out a lot, as a lot of power guys do, even though he won a batting title last year. And specifically, Judge's numbers off the pitcher tonight for the Kansas City Royals are actually pretty terrible. It's one of the few guys that Judge has really struggled with throughout the course of his career. Michael Wacha's going for Kansas City. Wacha against Aaron Judge, he's owned him. Judge is 3 for 24 lifetime against Michael Wacha. That's a 125 batting average with 12 strikeouts. So this to me is going to hit. I'm confident in this one. All right. So Judge, 1K, Carter Jensen, 1K. If they strike out at least once, you just turn $10 into $16. Shout out to PrizePicks, our new sponsor. We'll have some draft and football related stuff next week. Knicks playing tomorrow. I'm going to the Garden, so I'm going to put together a Knicks PrizePick themed lineup for Knicks Hawks on my Saturday show tomorrow a.m. But I think this is going to work. So I'm in. Download the PrizePicks app. Make your own picks. Tail mine, fade mine, whatever you want to do. Follow my PrizePicks feed at Jake Asman. Just make sure you use code HMA. Click the link in the description. Use that code, and when you put in $5 of your own money, you'll get $50 instantly in lineups. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Last chance to get in on the conversation. Cisco Lopez writes in, Beast, the only thing you do involves Renzel. Strong. Andrew C. writes in, bed bugs update. Haven't heard about them. So the salt trick works, apparently. For an update on the bed bugs, we go right to the source.
We can't hear you. Restart. Go to commercial.
See this? It's the bird special. That's history. That's ancient history. Get with the program. Move along. Move along. Thank you.
I don't feel like it.
Well, we'll get used to it because I'm not going to
get a call. Hey, host the show. Hold on. I'm getting a call.
Well, you take your call and don't worry about it. Yankees will do just fine. Knicks will do just fine. We're going to be just fine. We're going to make it. And I'm going to say this one more time. We're going to make it. We're going to succeed. And if Aaron gets fired, well, it's on him. So I'm not worried about it. Who cares anyway? We're gonna make it, and we will succeed. Just remember these words. And you can put that as a t-shirt on a slogan. We will succeed.
You sick when you pee. Now go to another caller.
We will succeed. That is the new shirt. That should be put out right now in a t-shirt store. We will succeed, and we will do it. All you gotta do is believe. If you don't believe, then what are you really are? Who are you? Are you really a Jet fan? Or are you just a goat? Oh! Just think of it. 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, when we look back at all these great moments that we lived for right now at this current moment in time.
Like a retard to you or something?
In 2077,
we'll all shut up, bitch.
By 2077, we'll all be gone by then. We'll probably be in space somewhere in a different galaxy in a different time. But you know what? That's 50 years from now. Right now, we're in a very strange world.
Beast, who did you vote for, my man?
Well, since Pagan already did give me a shirt, I don't want to feel like the asshole around here because I'm no asshole. And were you the Dark Knight?
Yeah, that was me.
So you were the Dark Knight.
Yes, sir.
I see that. Well, I was bringing up the future because 50 years from now, when we're all dead, the world's going to be a very different place with a different atmosphere.
I hope I'm still alive in 50 years.
Yeah, well, years, we're going to have a lot of different technology. Sure, everyone's going to be dead. We'll all be dead by then. We'll be, except for certain scum. That's fine with me. But we will succeed. April 23rd, be in Pittsburgh. Look ready. We will succeed. And we will get Jeremiah Love. Just remember.
Jets. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time for the Asmaniac Raffle. But before we get to the raffle, it's a very special birthday in the Asmaniac community today. Happy birthday, 9 years old, to my dog, Chloe, one of the OG Asmaniacs. Was an Asmaniac before that was a thing. Here was Chloe at the park earlier today, I'm told, using her Asmaniac water bowl, which you can purchase at jakeasman.com/shop. Shout out to Chloe. Chloe the dog turns 9 today. Woof, woof, baby. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Asmaniac raffle. All the names are being counted by yours truly here. A signed Bill Parcells helmet is up for grabs. Oh, hold on. Bobby Midnight just called in. You know what that means. She's going to want to sing the Chloe the dog. Bobby, you are unbelievable.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
Bob?
Hey, Jake. I could sing this song for your dog if you want me to.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I heard that. I had to come on for Chloe. I love her. So here we go. I tried to get in the morning, but I couldn't get in for your first show. Okay, Chloe, this is for you, sweetheart. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Chloe. Happy birthday to you. I hope you had a great day. You're a great dog. I love you. How's that?
Excellent job, Bob. Excellent.
Yeah. I love Chloe. I love Chloe. My cat's 9 years old. My cat's 9 years old already now, too. So a little earlier before Chloe. Okay, so I'll leave. Have a good day.
All right, Bob. Thank you for the time.
You sit when you
problem.
pee. Now go to another caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, who's ready for the Wheel of Champions? I know I am. We bring on the Master of Raffle ceremony.
We can't hear you. Restart. Go to commercial.
Ted DiBiase here, going to tell you, all of you nickel and dime peons. Now, Virgil, bring out the wheel. Now, folks, this ain't just your ordinary Wheel of Champions. It's the New York Jets Wheel of Champions. Now let's give it. Now, Virgil, let's give this bad boy a spin. Now let's take it for a spin. Remember, everybody's got a prize for the $1 Million Man.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Beast, thank you very much. Hit my raffle music, baby. Here we go. All the names have been added to the wheel, including one at the very end here from Black Gypsy, who just gifted a membership, as he typically likes to, at the very end of the show. So he's the last name to be put on the wheel of champions here. Call it out. You're the recipient of Black Gypsy's gifted membership. Here we go, folks. One spin to determine who's going to win a signed helmet by the great Bill Parcells. The winner is Mimosa. Congratulations to Mimosa. She is the winner of the Parcells helmet.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
Was my mic muted the whole time? Time to declare a winner in Asmaniac Madness. Congrats again to Mimosa. I don't know if my mic was cut off. I think it was for part of it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, only one can win in Asmaniac Madness round. Our final Sweet 16 battle. This one was a thriller. They'll be talking about this one for decades, centuries to come. But the winner is... Dun, dun, dun. Purple Belt Mike, 5248. Hit it. Purple Belt Mike advances 525 votes. This was back and forth. We had 50-50 late in the show. Unbelievable performance by PBM and by Party with Pagan Artie. Both outstanding as Maniacs. And that means the Elite Eight is officially set, with PBM taking on Charles Gorman as the Elite Eight matchup in the grown-ass man region. Gary 3D Boxing versus Mr. Bonesy for a spot in the Final Four in the extraordinary region. Leany versus the big fella for a spot in the Final Four representing the Dangerous Alliance region. And tomorrow at 11 a.m., Kyle Clifton, the number 1 overall seed, against Chef Kevin, the number 7 seed, head-to-head for a spot in the inside-outside Final Four, the representative of that region in the Final Four. Unbelievable. We're down to just 8 Asmaniacs remaining in the greatest tournament in all of sports. You guys are the absolute greatest. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great job by Mike. Tremendous job by PBM, or by Pagan Artie, I should say. What a performance. Before we get out of here, though, Gary 3D Boxing is called in. So let me introduce him the only way that I know how.
No, thank you.
Yes. Let's go.
I got a package today from Jake Asman. I wanted to have it before the draft so I could wear it to this little draft thing I'm going to. And I wanted to open it up and show the quality merch that you get from the Jake Asman store.
A live unboxing.
Yes, indeedy.
Hey.
I'm holding it upside down.
We're getting ready to march. That will be popular in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, March for
Dallas
Arch.
area where you are. Yeah.
It's the official March for Arch season begins on draft day. So I'm gonna wear that to the draft party. Thanks for getting that to me in a hurry, Jake. I appreciate it.
You got it, Gary. You have a great weekend, and I'm about to play
you
something
too.
that might offend you, so cover your eyes, okay?
All right.
You guys laugh. It's not funny.
This is regurgitating.
Those are two fairly young men.
You want to see what a real man looks like?
They don't care. They think it's funny that they're sickly and ill.
This ain't no bullshit.
Beast and Gorman look great.
Yeah, they're both physical specimens.
Destructive but constructive.
That's extraordinary, yeah.
272 pounds, muscle and might.
I'm all thrown off here. I'm all flustered here. Can I get to my jet point?
Yeah, you could try.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't fuck off, I don't know what else will. Have a good day.
Incredible. What a show. We are back at it tomorrow, 11 a.m. start time. Buffalo Jet fan is my guest. Gangrene Takeover in Pittsburgh is coming up real soon, so get ready for that. It's going to be epic. And by the way, tomorrow's matchup in the Elite Eight is going to be epic as well. The latest from Chef Kevin. Go Jets.
Attention, Asmaniacs, representing the close
Let's go.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.